I'm George Boston Rise, and this is the Get To Free Press, and we report what others ignore. I was called to Jacksonville, Florida by Bobby Worthy of the new Black Panther Party. This video is about the death of Tony Green, a black man that was shot dead in Kingsland, Georgia by police officer Zachariah Presley, and much controversy has arisen since his death on June 21st, 2018. A black mayor by the name of Henry E. Smith and other elected officials refused to address community leaders' questions concerning the death of this young man, and you can see much of that information on YouTube channel Boston G.B.R. and we report what others ignore. I was called here because often the mainstream news media will not report the complete story. And so I want you to sit back and relax. This is the truth. Greetings, this is the Get To Free Press, and I'm George Boston Rhines. I just traveled down to Jacksonville for an interview with a news outlet, First Coast News, and new Black Panther Party member Bobby Worthy concerning the death in Kingsland, Georgia, Tony Green. And as you know, Malik Shabazz and Attorney Green out of Atlanta is working that case, and they are currently seeking justice. And the Get To Free Press was called some months ago, and I returned the call by a visit. And that's what got me involved down there in that particular case. And this week has been an extremely busy week for me. As you know, I traveled up to Omaha, Nebraska, stayed up there for a week, came back, went to Atlanta to a fashion show, which was a very high day for me and my daughter and other people that I respect a lot. Then I was called to Kingsland, Georgia, and now I'm in Jacksonville, and I'm heading back out trying to get to Tifton, where another senior citizen is having a problem with city government, and she's been working on her case for 2.5 years, and I've been working with her. I'm also with Charles Judge. He has filed a suit against one individual here in Valdosta and Lowndes County, and he is a white individual, and I was in the courtroom with him 2 days ago. I've been following him for quite a while. And you may ask me why I do what I do. Well, that may not be any of your business, but I will say this to you, is that often it takes outside agitators to make a difference. And if you remember, in Gordon, Georgia, one of many cities that I went to, they called me and labeled me an outside agitator. So as I close this out, I want to leave this in the minds of white folks and Uncle Toms and Aunt James. When you call me an outside agitator, just understand that when your daddy sperminated your mother, that sperm needed the help of an outside agitator to get you into this world. So that doctor or that midwife was an outside agitator from the womb that you was in. And do you hear anybody complaining about that? Power to the people. Now pass it on.
Wow, a breeze. I can't remember the last time I felt a breeze here.
I know it feels good, though. Especially when I got all this black.
Yeah. Alright, just for the camera, obviously, just say and spell your first and last name for me.
Bobby Worthy. I'm the B-O-B-B-Y-W-O-R-T-H-Y.
Okay, and let me fix this mic here. Make sure we're good. And then just, I guess, say your title.
I am the National Minister of Justice for the new Black Panther Party.
Okay. So, let's kind of start with the basics and you can look at me during this. Tell me, first of all, what did you file in Kingsland, Georgia in relation to this latest case?
Okay. Well, it all started from the bounds of me filing the one of our ministers, Mikhail Muhammad, was unlawfully arrested by the chief of police at a Finley protest. So I took a warrant out on the chief of police for false arrest, false imprisonment in violation of his oath of office, because you can't just arrest a protester because you feel you can. There's laws against that. And that's basically what the one with the chief of police. And I also filed with the chief of police what they call AO 91, which gives local judges authority to file federal criminal complaints as well. So I filed a criminal complaint for conspiracy against your rights, which is the right to peaceably protest, and color of law complaint under 240 U.S. Title 18 242. Which is you use your color of law, your title, to actually violate the law, and that's all that is. The second complaint I filed was against the Chief Magistrate Judge of Glenn County, Judge Atwood, which is Judge Atwood is a Glenn County magistrate, and for him to come into to Kingsland, Georgia, which is Camden County, then he violated the law, because the law is clear. The law says it's called Georgia 7 Deadly Sins. The magistrate judges have no authority to set bond in certain cases unless they have a delegation of authority from the Superior Court judge to set those certain bonds. Well, where he messed up at is that he did have a delegation of authority, but his delegation of authority was from Glenn County, Brunswick, Georgia, and the Georgia law clearly says he cannot leave his appointed or elected. His delegation of authority can't succeed his elected or appointed county. So thus, when he came into Camden County, he violated that order. So I'm demanding that Zachariah Presley bond be revoked, and he immediately be rearrested and be given a hearing before a Superior Court judge. And the second one I filed, the third complaint I filed, was a petition to the grand jury to the grand jury of Camden County to remove the mayor of Kingsland, Georgia, from office, because he's on what they call the Georgia Ethics Commission. He's on bad debt. He's owed debt with the Georgia Commission. And in Georgia, the state of Georgia, I don't know about Florida, but in the state of Georgia, you cannot hold public office if you have a public debt. Himself and Councilman the Kingsland Mayor Kenneth Smith and Councilman Charles Day is on that list as bad debt. Thus, according to the Georgia Constitution, they cannot hold public office if they have a public debt. And that's why I filed a petition for the grand jury to remove them from office.
Have any of them responded to?
Well, it's at the probate level. The probate judges, and what the probate judges do is they're going to transfer to Superior Court judges. And once the Superior Court judges, then that's when the case number be assigned and it'll be sent out to, for the next level of the hearing. Because
But you haven't heard from any of them just in general, right?
Not just yet. They know about it though.
Okay. Were you there? Did you witness that protester getting arrested?
Yes, I wasn't personally there, but I was looking at the live feed. Somebody was there that I had there with the live feed.
What did the officer arrest him for doing exactly?
Well, basically arrest him for violating the city code ordinance for disorderly conduct. He said he was interrupting the city council meeting, that he wouldn't put the bullhorn down and stop. But don't get me wrong, they do have what they call an amplified sound code or ordinance for amplified sound, but that's not what he wrote him up for. He wrote him up for disorderly conduct and arrested him, and he should have never did that. That really overstepped his bounds when he unlawfully lay hands on what people don't understand is they can't just do that. There's laws against that, and I'm not going to say that because it's on TV, but there is laws to protect you, that you can protect yourself against any false arrest.
Do you think there was any disorderly conduct from what you watched?
Say that again?
Was there any disorderly conduct from what you watched?
No, none whatsoever. They're saying that he was interrupting the council meeting because the bullhorn was extremely loud on the inside. But as I witnessed the other day, I witnessed loud music. I witnessed someone for like maybe 5-10 seconds at the council meeting. I guess they was outside and you could hear that loud music, boom, shaking the windows, rattling the windows. And I didn't see one police officer run. I didn't see the chief or none of them run outside. So I think it was just bias on the parts of the mayor and the chief of police just doing what they think they can do because they want to. The law is clear in this country. ignorance of the law excuses no one. I don't care if you carry a badge, a gun, whatever you carry. You have a responsibility to the people, for the people, and you cannot violate that.
So, you, bottom line is, you think that even if he was, you know, just disrupting the meeting, that it's not being treated fairly because you feel like there are other disruptions that aren't treated the same way?
Yes.
Okay. So, and tell me the man's name who was arrested again.
His name was Minister Mikhail Muhammad. He is a Jacksonville chairman of the new chairman of the New Black Panther Party.
Have you? I mean, where is he now? I guess.
He's in Jacksonville somewhere.
Okay.
Somewhere around.
I mean, so what happened when he was arrested? Was he booked? Was he?
Well, he was arrested, booked in, and given a OR bond. They allowed him to sign his own reconnaissance bond. They processed him in and let him out. So he probably stayed in maybe a couple of hours, processed in and pressed out. They didn't fingerprint him, probably took pictures of him, and that's it. And just let him go on his own OR.
But you're saying it's the principle of the matter.
It's the principle of the matter, and then we definitely fighting the case, you know. And that's even with the Kingston mayor them from the city council meeting the other night, and not, you know, the council. They wouldn't allow me to address the council. They said because I wasn't a taxpayer, I wasn't a citizen, as the mayor say, a taxpayer. So what I did was I bought, because their charter, I read the charter real well. The charter says if you want to address the council, you got to be a taxpayer or a resident, right? So thus they did not define taxpayer. I bought 5 bags of tater chips and 5 sodas. Then in that county, I became a taxpayer. But the mayor did not want to hear that at all. But because first of all, he asked me, was you a citizen? He kept asking me a citizen. What he don't know, that because of his arrogance, I think the Americans being very arrogant and very, very disrespectful. Because of his arrogance, I think that his judgment is being overshadowed by his anger, because he doesn't know the difference there is a difference between a citizen and a resident. You know, people don't understand that. Yes, I am. Everyone else out here is a citizen. Whether we're residents of Jacksonville or residents of Kingston, then that's a different story. But as I said, the charter does not define taxpayer. So taxpayer, then I became a taxpayer when I purchased and spent tax dollars.
What do you want people ultimately to get from you, I guess, talking out about what happened? I mean, even if they weren't directly involved, why should they care?
Say it again now.
Well, why should people care if they aren't living in Kingsland or if they weren't directly involved? Why do you want people to care?
Why do I want people to care about what's going on in Kingston? Because this is what I do. I handle all legal issues for the New Black Panther Party, and I travel all over the country addressing these same issues. And that we all, as citizens, must get involved, not locally, but nationally, in events like this, especially when it involves a man, an unarmed man that was shot 9 times. I am also with the attorneys that actually took the case with Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz and Reginald Green with the Black Lawyers of Justice. So he was 9 bullets in him, unarmed, is a serious issue.
Are you talking about Tony Green?
Huh?
Are you talking about Tony Green?
Yes, about Tony Green. 9 bullets, and I've seen the pictures, and I can't release all that, but he was shot 9 times. That's much as I can release right now. But I've seen the body, I've seen the pictures, and it's definitely murder. Now, if this warrant thing goes through with the judge, what should be happening is that they should rearrest Zachariah Presley, like I said, and put him back in jail and have another bond hearing. Whether they give him another bond or not, I don't know. But the law is clear. When any public official, see, the first thing they're probably going to claim that the judge has judicial immunity. Now, his immunity is waived. Any judge, any public official that acts where he has no jurisdiction waives his immunity. You see what I'm saying? So he came into another county. He has no immunity in that county. When he acts where he has no jurisdiction.
Are you part of the group who's spending their Saturday mornings out at Kingsland's courthouse protesting?
Say it again now.
There's a group on Saturday mornings that goes out to the courthouse to protest because of what happened to Tony Green. Are you a part of that group at all?
If it's a member, some of them, yes, yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes, some of the group, the concerned citizens of Kingston.
That's what it is.
Kingston, Georgia.
Yeah.
We are the New Black Panther Party. we just assist and join that group. They are separate from us. We're not the
Okay.
same group, but we do assist them in their rallies and protests when they want us to come in and do a rally and protest.
What is the goal of those protests, you think? I mean, when you do help them out, do they just feel like it still hasn't been handled properly?
Well, it hasn't been handled properly. So the thing about protests is it brings awareness. Just like the Kendrick Johnson, I don't know if you're familiar with the Kendrick Johnson. It had not for KJ, the young high school boy in Valdosta was found in man. It had not for the persistence of his parents every day rallying and protesting, it would have never got to the level it is now. So rallying and protesting brings about awareness, and it brings about change. The right people, the right person see it at the right time, then it moves to the next level. And when a person is murdered, we should never back down, especially unlawfully. The G.B.R. I have never seen any law enforcement agency act that quick. So something they saw or something they knew, that they arrested him in a matter of a week after the incident. So that is something serious. That the G.B.R. investigators saw enough facts to arrest him.
And my last question for you, just tell me, what is the purpose of the Black Panther Party, in your own words?
All right, the new Black Panther Party is we're not a hate group, we're not a racist group like everybody say we is. We're a group about empowerment of our own people and empowerment of our neighborhoods and cleaning up our neighborhoods. They'll talk about all the bad stuff that go on by the new Black Panther Party, but they won't talk about the food and clothes, the housing things that we provide, housing, clothing, educational programs, and all that, and cleanup programs for the communities and food drives and all that. But that's the stuff they don't ever want to talk about. They always talk about a few bad apples that always say the wrong thing. I ain't gonna say a few bad apples, but a few people that makes a mistake and say the wrong thing and they take it out of content. But with the new Black Panther Party, it's not a hate group. In our history, you look at the new Black Panther Party, old or new, you'll never see in our history that there was violence against anybody because of their race or color, or creed or anything like that.
Is there anything that you want to add that I didn't ask you about?
Oh, that's pretty much it.
And you said you're going to file one more thing, you think?
Yeah, I would be filing what they call, I would be filing another one for violation of search and procedures against the police chief. If he don't return the bullhorn, he took a bullhorn that belonged to one of the residents, and he violated Georgia law. Georgia law is clear. Anytime you take something from someone, you must give them an inventory, a sheet that you took that. And the reason they came over, and they probably got it in Florida too, it just said they found, the police made a drug bust, and they found 50 kilos of drugs, $500,000 in cash, right? But when it gets to the station, it's $200,000,
Right.
and it's only 5 keys. So an inventory sheet is, by law, they're supposed to write down everything and give you a copy of it. So therefore, it holds all of us accountable for the thing. So he violated that search and procedure by not giving him an inventory sheet.
Okay. All right. I think I got it all. Thank you so much.
Right.
So my next step is I will reach out to you next week